Alright, so today's tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to quickly prime lashes, take off lashes in less than 5 minutes that need removal, and then start to fill in. How I do things is simply how I do things. Please take from it what you will. It's not the right way, it's not the wrong way, it's just how I do it, how my brain works. I'm not saying that anybody else's method is bad or I'm doing it the right way and everybody else is wrong, anything like that. It's just my method and I hope it helps you guys. So initially what I'm going through and doing is I have primer on those two little micro swabs, and I'm going in between all of the lashes, and I've gone over each eye twice to try to get really in there and just get all the good stuff on those lashes that are ready for new lashes. So now I'm throwing those away and I'm getting the lash tile out and I'm getting some glue on that lash tile, and I unfortunately had to cut it out just because the video wasn't close enough to her face. You could barely even see what I was attempting to isolate and do. So I did it in a different way for this particular video. I wanted to show you how to prime really quickly, and then I wanted to show you how I kind of go through the lashes individually and take off the grown out ones. I usually take the grown out ones off first and then I just prime the whole piece. Another bonus with her is that she didn't have too many grow outs, so I didn't necessarily worry about doing it in opposite order. But I start with one side and I take off the lashes that need taking off. And there's two different methods that I use to take off lashes. The first one is the banana peel, where you take the natural lash in the left tweezer and the false lash in the right tweezer and you kind of just peel them apart. And then there's another method you'll see in there where I'm grabbing the bottom of the lash with my left tweezer and then the extension with my right tweezer. And I kind of just, I didn't grab it with the right tweezer. I'm sorry, I grabbed the natural lash with the left and right tweezer and I just move my right tweezer up the natural lash and it just pops right off. So those two methods you'll see in me right there. Boom. I did the second method right there. So I'm going through, making sure, looking at every single individual little extension, seeing if I need to remove it, because a lot of times there's ones that you'll miss and you'll need to just hurry up and fix that little bit. But now onto the left side, I'm making sure that these little sections, the small hairs, are really hard, and so I'm making sure and I'm kind of pulling them up a little bit to see how much they've grown out, because those are really tender hairs. So you need to make sure that if it is at all grown out, that you fix it. You take it off and you replace it with a new one. Right here on this lash, you'll see the banana peel method. There that one goes. So as you can see, I am all done and it's about 4 minutes in. You always want to stay within that 5 minutes, just because you're taking valuable lash time away from you and your client. She was a little bit watery on that side. I must have gotten a little bit excited with that primer, so I'm just dabbing it off a little bit. But you definitely want to stay under that 5 minutes, because believe me, honey, you can take them all off in 5 minutes. You need to practice. You need to reserve that lash time for you and her. And then you just need to get started lashing. So it's about 4.5 minutes right now, and I am in my lash game. Right here I'm doing a fun trick with the iPad. It's starting to creep up on her eye a little bit, so I'm picking it up with the tweezer because I feel very confident with my tweezers. I'm not shaky. They're another appendage to me, so I just lift them up very carefully with my tweezers and move them down just a hair if they're starting to creep up on her. I just want her to feel as comfortable as possible, and if I notice they're creeping up, there's a solid chance she notices that they're creeping up. So another thing to take note of here is that the iPads that are on her aren't actually adhering to her entire face. You can see they kind of have flaps on either end of them. You don't actually need to have the iPads flush with the face. If you have a little bubble in there, that's completely fine. Everybody's face is different. They're allowed to have different shaped eyes. So if you need to have just a little bit of a bubble near the bottom of that iPad and out to the side, honey, do it. You do what you need to do. They don't need to be completely plush with the skin. And here is my masterful trick that not a lot of people know that I do. I actually use my fingers is actually helping me separate right now. I use my right ring finger to kind of help me isolate because the way that I learned how to lash was to grab the lash first with my tweezer and then isolate. You can definitely isolate first and then go grab, but I find that when I do that, I tend to put a little extra pressure on that left tweezer, and I don't want to make her eye feel uncomfortable. So when I pick up that lash with my right tweezer, I've essentially lost an entire tweezer to help me isolate. So that's when I bring in my finger and I just slowly start to separate if I can a little bit. A lot of other girls do it. I have found they've commented on a lot of my videos saying, oh my gosh, I do that too. I thought I was the only one. So you are not alone if you are a little ring finger user. This video is about up. I hope you guys have enjoyed and be sure to subscribe.